Welcome to Auntie K's, your favorite radical queer indigenous auntie, bringing you tarot every day. Hi, and welcome to Auntie K's Tarot. We are here to continue to look at the cards I have chosen for my Star Wars tarot deck in a tarot far, far away, and why I have chosen them. This is a world majority tarot deck. It is an RWS clone, and in terms of Star Wars, it comes from across universe. And I'm pretty excited about this. We're wrapping up the cards I chose for the majors and 3 extra cards, and we'll talk about why there's 3 extra cards and why there might be more. All right, so up first we have the Sun card, and we have Jana riding on an Orbach on Kefber. So the imagery for the Sun card in the RWS is pretty classic. So when I was compiling my list of characters I could think of who are BIPOC characters, Jana is one of the first ones I put down. And I remembered her riding a white Orbach. And so I knew that she was going to be my Sun card. She has a yellow cape. It's not as big as the red fabric flowing in the wind of the typical Sun card. And I added a bit more deeper orange tones to it to reflect back to that. The Orbach is a really good stand-in for the white horse. There is some rocky terrain, rocky walls. There are yellow flowers on Kefber, so this worked out really well. She's not a child, and she's not naked. Here's the deal. She's played by an actress who's a real person who did not appear in this show naked. So I don't have her consent to draw her naked. That doesn't feel right to me as an artist versus somebody who has consent to do it, or versus creating a completely fictional character. I didn't do it on the Lovers card because those characters were described as wearing wedding clothes. So, and in this case, I didn't do it when we're talking about a real person. And we come up to that. So that's my personal morals and take as an artist. But I think this works fabulously. And then we have Judgment. And we have Leia witnessing the destruction of her homeworld, Alderaan, from the Death Star. So this was my very first t-shirt, Star Wars Tarot t-shirt design. And it is Leia as the Queen of Swords on the Millennial Falcon. And when I was like, okay, I'm making this a tarot deck, I was like, as a t-shirt or just as a concept, Leia's a great Queen of Swords. But when I'm looking at all the characters within Star Wars, Leia doesn't make sense for the Queen of Swords. And so I ended up putting Leia here in the Judgment card. The imagery, I think, works really well. We have a bunch of dead people. And Leia's putting her hand up in shock and a hand reaching out. Doing that looks really expressive for what she was going through. And it kind of recreates the image of the angel holding the trumpet. Leia is kind of our angel in Star Wars, so she works there. The beam that blows up Alderaan also works as standing in for the trumpet. I reversed the dark and light aspects of the card. So in the traditional Judgment card, it's light blue on top, and the coffins are black inside, bringing some darkness to the bottom. So the Death Star is the black coming in, and the explosion of obliteration of Alderaan brings in our light blue, and just reversing that card a bit. So next up, we have the World card. And for this, I have represented Clone DNA, Jango Fett and Count Dooku and Sifo Dyas and Lama Su creating Boba Fett. And the wreath is a DNA chain. Um, I put Boba in outfits you see on Camino, and because that's where all this is taking place. So there's the blue background is like a window, and it's blue outside, and there's rain because it's Camino. Um, and I thought this was a fun way to represent the world card. It had an impact on the whole world. It brought an end to an era. Um, and the start of a new one, and I thought that worked well for the world. All right, so we are now at our extra cards, and so we have alternate galaxy, and this is a setup of the Wheel of Fortune card, but it's alternate galaxy. It is based on the Star Wars Lego Rebuild the Galaxy, and so all the pieces look like Lego pieces, right down to the clouds and the wheel with the piece in there. And we have Jedi Bob and Sig around the wheel here. And then we have the four Darths in the corner. We have Darth Hammerhead, Darth Jar Jar, Darth Kit Fisto, and Darth Nubs. And so that's there for fun. Alternate galaxy. You can read that how you will if you choose to leave it in. I would think of it as if this comes up, somebody's in a alternate reality. They're seeing things from a really different perspective than everybody else. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. So our next alternate card is Jedi Knight Yord, and we have joined the Force. You have, and so he dies in the Acolyte. A lot of people really liked him. I love the colors of these High Republic era robes. Yord, his uh lightsaber hilt is pretty fancy. He's got am I going to pronounce this right? Rhodium, which is kind of like gold. He's got that in there, even though it's become much more rare. And so, you know, if this card comes up for you, you're probably on the right path. And then we have Path to the Dark Side, and this is Osha Force choking her old Jedi Master as she bleeds the saber from blue to red. I loved this moment in the Acolyte. I loved it. And I just really wanted to capture it. And so I created a card to do that. And there we have it. So that is the end of the majors. And next we're going to talk about the wand suit. I'll see you later, and I'm really enjoying sharing this deck with you. I am hoping to print the first proofs in January because I know there's extra money coming in January. I can set aside for that, and then when the proofs are good, print up review decks and get it onto Kickstarter. I want the proofs perfect before I print review decks. I am not good at social media, and my channel's still really small. I need review copies out there for the benefit of my Kickstarter, and so that's the way we're going. And I can't wait to have this deck. I'm so excited for it, and I'm excited to bring it all to you. It's just we're moving with the realities that we're in, and I like a completed deck when I back a Kickstarter. Therefore, I like to present a completed deck, you know? So there we have it. See y'all later, folks.